pretend noises?
I don't think you have to make pretend noises. Hi, welcome to episode 15 of Calls with Paul. I'm Marquette Redham, and this is
Paul Redham, and I might make, it's thundering outside and lightning, and I might make pretend noises, lightning noises, just to,
Or you could just actually be quiet and let people listen to the thunder. There's that too.
Yeah.
So today on Calls with Paul, we want to cover some actual real estate and listing related information, starting with Compass is hosting a citywide spring home tour this weekend on Sunday, April 28th from 1 to 5 p.m. Super exciting. At last count, Sarah, what was the last count? There were
almost 80.
Almost 80 homes throughout Austin and in the suburbs of Austin that are going to be held open, all from 1 to 5 p.m. So that gives you a lot of time to get out there and hustle and look at homes. If you know anybody that's looking, this is a great chance to go check stuff out. And we have 3 properties on the tour that we're very excited for people to come see. Do you want to let everybody know about we've got 2 listings.
we have 2 on the tour, right?
No, we have 3. We have 3 on the tour. We've got 2 that are going live tomorrow, and so you're going to get a little sneak peek here, and then we have 1 that's been on the market for just a week or so. So why don't you start by telling everybody about our listings that are coming tomorrow, and then
Sure.
the one that we've had for just a little while.
Sure. Tomorrow we have some just spectacular listings. The first one that's coming
You
up.
sound so excited. Spectacular listings.
Well, they are. They're really.
Well,
they're.
Spectacular listings.
You want me to be animated?
I do.
I don't know that I do that.
Sarah's making scary faces in the background.
Lightning really is quite scary.
If we get zapped live on Facebook, we'll go viral for sure.
That would be a big impact.
All right. So anyway, you were saying.
So the one on Lynbrook's really pretty great. It's on and I can't say
Bowerly Ranch.
Bowerly Ranch. Thank you, because I butcher that. It has nice views out the front. It's 4 bedrooms and it's $400,000. It's down by Slaughter.
It's 3 bedrooms.
It's 3 bedrooms, but it has a game room also.
It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and 2 living areas.
Yeah.
Beautiful hand-scraped hardwood floors. You can tell who wrote the property description.
You should definitely get into marketing.
Yeah. No, it's great. I love it because it has a front porch, and there is nothing between the front of that house and the Bowerly Ranch Park. And so you have just these beautiful natural vistas. I mean, you can go walk 300 acres of trails with ponds and everything. It's just
and your backyard has privacy.
Yeah, and the house has, been really beautifully maintained. I mean, it looks brand new. I mean, Beautiful moldings, hardwood floors. It's got the 3 bedrooms plus an office, the 2 living areas, gigantic walk-in pantry and laundry room, a butler's pantry. I mean, really cool patio in the backyard. It's a great deal, and you're offering that one for sale.
Right at $400, $399 if you ask nicely.
Cool. If you ask nicely. Pretty please, can I buy your house? The other one that we have.
The other one that we have is really a lifetime portfolio property. I mean, it's amazing. It's so close to downtown that you could, I shouldn't say spit, but you could spit it downtown from there. And you could walk to all kinds of things. I did some research, and there's a lot of things you could walk to that are within 0.6 miles or 10, 12 minutes. Like the Umlauf Sculpture Garden is where all this started off, and you could walk to Uchi in about that time, and the movie theater and all kinds of stuff.
By the movie theater, he means Alamo Draft House.
Yeah, the one that feeds you.
Yeah. No, it's awesome because you can literally go take a dip in the pool at Barton Springs, walk to Zilker Park, walk to the hike and bike trail at Lady Bird Lake, enjoy all those cool new restaurants on South Lamar like Eberly and Uchi without having to take an Uber, without having to take a car. Just walk. They're all within like 15 minutes walk.
You could still take an Uber if you really want to.
Well,
it's certainly not necessary. It's probably better for your health if you don't.
And the house itself, I'm so excited about this one because it has these just charm and elegance, and it's just an exceptional property. I mean, the landscaping, it's beautiful with these arbors and this secret garden in the back with a fountain and little dining areas and twinkle lights, and it's got fantastic architectural details from like the Italian granite, marble, beautiful shiplap, vaulted ceilings, antique mullions in the windows. Like, I could go on and on. It's a main house plus a guest cottage, and you've got views through the trees.
You do.
Of the downtown Austin skyline. So I would totally be hanging out on that deck in the private owner's retreat, drinking cocktails all the time, just admiring my view.
Cocktails all the time.
Cocktails all the time. No work, none of that. Just me and some cocktails and my view of the city.
maybe I'll have to talk to Travis if we can.
Buy it. It's offered for $1.75 million. So I'm happy where we're at for
Your
now.
eyeballs did a different thing there.
Yeah, 1.75. We also have a cool property that's been on the market for just a week or two in Travis Country, which I know it's a neighborhood so many people want to move into. Tell us about that one.
Oh, it's a wonderful house. It's about 400 feet from the Greenbelt. One of the neat things about it that's kind of unique is the solar panels that it has. And I'll tell you, I looked at the electric bills for that, and I really got excited about solar panels.
Well, the cool thing is with solar panels, you have a lot of upfront costs that you pay to get them installed.
Mhm.
But if you're buying a house with solar panels, you're not bearing the cost of that installation. You just get to go enjoy the benefits of the energy efficiency.
Yeah. But it's a really cool house, and it's in a great neighborhood. Easy to walk around. If you're not familiar with Travis Country, you should look it up on the map or call me, and I'll help. I'll show you the house.
And that one's 5435 Moon Shadow, and it is a 4-bedroom. It's got a really nice master bedroom with a sitting area and a bay window, large walk-in bathroom, and it has 3 really nicely sized secondary bedrooms, each with their own little cool thing going on. One has like a window seat and chair rails and built-in bookcases. Another one has crown molding. Like, they're just really nice. And the floor plan downstairs has a nice flow to it, and there's a really private shaded backyard with a patio and pergola.
A big old deck for partying and hanging out and barbecuing with friends and stuff.
Yeah, so
Cool place.
so we're excited to have those 3 different listings all in different parts of town. And I don't know if we said the address for the Zilker one, but it is 803 Garner Avenue. And so if y'all are curious, check those out. The other thing that we're going to be, and we hope to see you at the tour. The other thing that we're going to talk about today, something I don't know anything about. Did you pick this just because I wouldn't know anything about it?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, so the tech corridor. We all know that Austin is growing. Congratulations, Austin. You're the 3rd best place to live in the nation for the 3rd straight year, as ranked by U.S. News and World Report. And part of that is thanks.
Are we the first?
First, number 1
For the 3 times.
For the 3rd straight year.
Number one. Number one.
Yeah. And some people don't like that, but we're cool with it. And in part, it's because of our economy, our strong job market, our low unemployment rate, and
the fact that we're super cool.
And we're super cool.
Yeah.
But part of that is that we have a lot of tech companies that are either in Austin and expanding their footprint or moving to Austin. And I'm thinking of, Seattle and the folks from Amazon coming in. You've got the Apple campus expanding. You've got the Army Futures Command and a whole bunch that I'm probably not even remembering.
Yeah, I love that Army's Future Command. I don't think they're going to share any secrets with me, but I think that might be cool.
It would be cool. So the tech corridor, and particularly up in that area, sort of North Austin domain-ish, is really ripe. That's been on your top picks for appreciation for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now.
And now more so.
Yep. So what we're going to talk about today here on episode 15 of Calls with Paul is to go into what are some of the really strong areas, if you're looking to move into that, you might be associated with some of those new businesses. What should you be looking for, and what are your neighborhood picks? Before you dive into those, can you tell us, though, why did they make the cut? What makes them a great, you did it again, every time you take it. What makes it a good neighborhood for someone to look at? What are your criteria?
There's a confluence of, wow, that's a big word. A confluence of factors that really go into it for me, for people like I think you need to have good schools. Not necessarily because you have kids, but because those homes tend to appreciate a little bit faster. The neighborhoods tend to be a little bit nicer. You don't have to be in the whole 4-bedroom area. And some of these are actually a nice mix of, great schools and kind of urban living. And then for this particular set, the thought process was, gosh, all these people are coming to town and they don't know anything about Austin, or maybe they know a little bit or whatever, but I thought it'd be nice to have some free advice that we can share with these guys to make their lives easier.
Yeah, so you would have easy access to the tech corridor as a criteria, and then you want to have, to have a good potential resale value too, right?
Yeah, it's all about making money.
Okay, so let's group them into areas, if you will,
Yeah.
and talk about your picks in the different pockets. And I'm going to let you kind of lead the way.
Is this what I wrote just an hour ago?
Well, yeah, and I haven't had time to read it, so this is all you, buddy.
So I'm gonna put on my glasses. Y'all can see how old I look, and this is what I really look like in real life. My first set really was Spicewood Estates, the Great Hills area, and Barrington Oaks, which is as you're going up 183. For those of you that live here, as you're going north on 183, it's just on the left as you get past the Arboretum.
So these are probably closer to the Apple campus?
Yeah, they're closer to the Apple campus, and they're super close to the Domain and where all the companies are buying their buildings. So I think for everybody, these are really appropriate. The Spicewood Estates, Balcones area is really one of my favorites. It feeds to Canyon Vista, which is like one of the only middle schools that seem to really have its act together and doing great things. And then Westwood High School. A lot of people come to us just for those two things to go into that area.
Mm-hmm.
Now with its proximity to the Domain and the Apple campus, I think that's lighting on fire. And we're seeing it. That neighborhood's really lurching.
And I want to say hi to Neil. Thanks for joining us today. We have a couple of friends on today.
Hey, Neil.
You can't read that, but
I could when I scooted closer.
okay. So anyway, so I don't mean to disrupt your flow. So
That's
you've
all
got Spicewood Estates. What else is on your
There's-
list off of 183?
Yeah, Spicewood Estates, Great Hills, which is kind of like Spicewood Estates, but it was built in the 90s, and it's more of a production community, so the homes are more similar and not quite as high quality. In Spicewood Estates, though, you have some more custom homes, and some of those have been remodeled, but not all of them. So it's kind of hit and miss in there for finding high quality stuff. But there's always stuff that you can go in and shore up yourself if you're into that.
And that's kind of your second choice overall in Austin for a really great school feeder pattern, isn't it?
That's number 2, right behind Northwest Hills.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. Like, if you can't do Northwest Hills, I take you there.
Which we'll talk about in a minute.
We'll talk about in a minute, although I
Okay.
do get very excited.
All right. So what else is on the list?
And then the other one is right there, kind of right next to Great Hills, is Barrington Oaks. It's a lower price point, and the homes are slightly smaller, and so are the lots. So it's just a smaller version of that neighborhood. All of those are fantastic. And then the next section I have that really excited me, because the schools are like in Central Austin, the elementaries haven't always been great, but we're starting to see some of those really percolate. And so this neighborhood is Ridgetop, North Loop, and Hyde Park. And
So that's very central. That's not quite north. That's really more central.
It's more central. So if you're in the category of we're a young couple and maybe we'll have a little person that comes along, like these neighborhoods are really great for that.
Or if you have a split household where somebody's working downtown and somebody's working north, those central neighborhoods are really ideal for commuting for both sides.
Absolutely.
Going north, going to downtown.
And very, very walkable.
Mhm.
Like, so you can, in all of these places, you could really ditch your car and walk to dinner. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. We had a couple of listings that we sold recently in the Ridgetop neighborhood, and I just love it. Those are mostly going to be bungalows.
Yeah.
You can walk to Sala and Betty, get your snow cones on over at Casey's New Orleans Snow Cones, go to
Yep.
Round Table for pizza. I mean, literally, when he says walkable,
Yeah.
that's all right there. Your Airport Boulevard stuff is right there. And then in Hyde Park, of course, you've got Antonelli's Cheese Shop. I could
We're
just
going there
live.
soon, aren't
I
we?
could
Yeah.
live at Antonelli's. Hyde Park Bar and Grill, North Loop. You've
Yeah.
got, I'm blanking on the names of the restaurants, but you have that little group of restaurants
You
right
got
there.
all the
Foreign and
gosh.
domestic, I think, and some
Yeah,
things
there's
right
a
there.
couple of those really, really tiny restaurants with the good food.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's
Yeah.
the, kind of what you get in terms of architecture and style. And the schools there, I mean, Ridgetop has a Spanish immersion school,
That's right.
which is awesome and very sought after. What else is there?
Well, the Spanish immersion for Ridgetop's really a pretty big deal. And then you got Lee Elementary. I don't have any, all I know is people ask me, they're like, hey, Paul, I want to live in Hyde Park, and it really needs to feed to Lee. So it has a good reputation. And I think there's another school in there, but I can't think of what it is.
And I love the architecture in Hyde Park. I mean, you've got everything from historic homes. It was one of Austin's first suburbs.
Yeah.
So it was not, in the beginning when it was developed, it was not considered part of Austin proper. Hyde Park was a suburb to Austin. And so it was one of the first
Yeah.
communities designed that way. But I love the architecture. You find a lot of porches and people are very tight-knit community. You've also got bungalows, and it's a little bit more mixed. I mean, you're going to have also some college kids that live in multifamily stuff there.
Yeah,
and
it
everything.
used to have the airplanes flying over it when the airport was back where the airport originally was in Mueller, and so that really kept prices down. And then in recent years, when the airport moved, of course, prices have gone back up, and I think they're probably at market value now.
Cool. Any other areas? What else is on your list?
Absolutely. I got a long list here.
Well, you better book it, buddy.
I think I have 26 neighborhoods, but I'm doing in bulk. So the next one is Northwest Hills, here where we live. My number one.
Let's give it a
favorite.
geographic. So this is sort of northwest-ish Austin.
Northwest
south of 183. It's the outer bands of central Austin, but not quite full on north. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's the
Still
Northwest.
within the loop. It's within the loop. So like that first group of 183,
Yeah.
Spicewood Estates and Barrington Oaks, that's outside the loop.
Out of the loop.
But Hyde Park, Ridgetop, and all that you just talked about, that's inside the loop. And now this other group is also within the loop, but it would be in the northwest sector
Northwest quadrant.
of the central Austin loop.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm all
Man, you know stuff.
quadrants. Central Austin.
It's like you got
Loops.
It's going to make a quad joke.
Go.
Let's skip that. So we got Northwest Hills, Westover Hills, and they're pretty much the same communities for the most part, although Northwest Hills feeds to Doss and Westover feeds to Hill. Northwest Hills has larger lots and amazing schools and beautiful views, and like it's our little slice of heaven. And then you got Westover Hills that has smaller hills, smaller lots, and a little bit lower price, but it's pretty much in the same area, and you get to enjoy some of the same stuff. And then there's just outside of the loop is Jester, just on the other side of 360. That has always seemed a little bit underpriced to me. It's an original production neighborhood. It was built by Buffington back in the 90s. So all those homes are fairly, maybe not modern, but they're recently built and don't have some of the problems our older homes do.
Like cast iron plumbing.
Like cast iron plumbing. But it's a really great location and a wonderful price. So those are the next three that I would get pretty excited about. And then am I able to go on to the next one?
Well, let's just talk a little bit about Northwest Hills in that area. All of these sort of feed into the same school feeder patterns. And in case you're not familiar, in Northwest Hills and Westover area, you've got two primary elementary schools, Hill Elementary and you've got Doss Elementary. Doss was one of the beneficiaries of the Austin ISD bond package recently. Mm-hmm. So they have demolished that elementary school and it's being completely rebuilt from the ground up. It's going to be a world-class, two-story, fantastic elementary school. And
with a view of the city.
With a view of the city for the young children to enjoy.
They need that to relax and like get their blood pressure down.
Yeah. And so that is, part Northwest Hills feeds to Dawes, Westover Hills feeds to Hill.
To Hill.
And then Jester feeds to Hill.
Jester goes to Hill.
To Hill as well. But anyway, so that's a big draw there. Also, this area has seen really outstanding appreciation over the last 5 years. I want to say it was over 30 or 40% in the last 5 years.
Oh, here in Doss, yeah.
Yeah, it's been huge.
Pretty much doubled.
And so it's a great place if you're looking for something that's going to also serve as an investment for you and have your primary residence be a moneymaker. This is a great place for that too.
So the big pitch for this little group here is if you want great schools and you want to stay close into Austin, between Austin and the Domain area where the tech corridor is and all that, and you don't have millions of dollars to spend, this is the answer.
So let's go to your fourth pocket.
The fourth pocket is the courtyard, and it's the only one inside of that pocket because it kind of sits alone on its own. It's a unique area built around a swim and tennis club. The homes in there are a little bit lesser expensive than others you see at that same kind of location. I think that's in part because in the neighborhood it's very difficult to get in and out, but you can get a lot of home bang for the buck.
It's very separate from the rest of the neighborhoods. I mean, it's got its own sort of independent ingress and egress, but you also get to walk along the lake and
you get lake access. You probably get more bang for the buck on your home. It's nice to walk around the neighborhood, but you're really not going to walk to a restaurant from there. You'd need to get in a car because you're surrounded by highways, which also makes it really nice and easy to be able to commute on the west side of Austin.
What's your fourth pocket?
My fourth pocket, let me see, I have to cheat here.
Another Central Austin grouping.
Oh gosh, it's the one that makes my heart go pitter patter. We got,
I thought they all made your heart go pitter patter.
well, they do, but this is,
Such a
I'm a little house slut. I know.
yeah.
I know. So it's Terrytown, Old Enfield, Briker Woods, and Clarksville. The reason
Including
why,
Pemberton, I'm assuming.
including
In
Pemberton,
Old
yeah, I mean,
Enfield.
yeah, all that stuff right in there.
The estates.
Old Austin.
The estates at Old Enfield and Pemberton make my heart go pitter patter too. They're
Yeah.
just gracious and large lots and beautiful, beautiful architecture. But I digress. Tell us more.
It made the list because of its proximity to Mopac, so you can still get up to the tech corridor and all that stuff, and you're really adjacent to downtown. But your ability to get on Mopac is, I was trying to keep it all really relative to the tech
That's great.
stuff and people coming in. But like if you
Yeah.
if you can swing it, it's a little bit more expensive than the other, or a lot more expensive than the other areas, but it's really beautiful.
It's also the furthest south. So
Further
your
south of the
commute
route,
to the tech corridor is going to be a little bit longer.
yeah, but you could take the expressway starts right there.
Yeah, the toll road.
Yeah, so if you jump on the expressway, you can really zoom all the way up to Parma.
That's
It
great.
was I kind of had it out for a while, and then I was like, wait a second, if you jump on that expressway and go, you're there in 10 minutes.
That's nice. That is a good point. So cool. So a little bit higher end, a little bit more expensive, a little bit further away.
Yeah,
But with that, you get some of the other benefits in terms of age of home, character of home that you're not going to
Yeah.
find in some of the other neighborhoods.
yeah, and you're right there on the lake, and you are right there downtown. So, like for ACL and all that kind of stuff, you'll always have guests.
What's your
whether that's
next pocket that you really like for the tech corridor?
So I'm coming a little bit further north now from where we were in Terrytown and stuff, but just to the north of that, you got Rosedale and Briker Woods. And I like this area because it really offers you kind of this 1940s feel, very walkable neighborhoods with a nice mix of older homes, older bungalows mixed up with remodels and whatnot.
If you're not familiar, just to give you a point of reference, these are the neighborhoods that are very close to Central Market Central.
The central market,
Mhm.
yeah.
So on the west side, you've got Rosedale and Briker Woods, and on the east side, you have the Hyde Park homes that are kind of centered around Central Market. If
That's
people
right.
aren't familiar,
It's just easy walking. Like you can be in these neighborhoods and get to things. And, I kind of like the idea of ditching the car and walking places. And I think other people do too. And I think that these more central areas will do better holding their value and continuing to appreciate over time. I think that's always going to be in demand.
and if you don't like the older homes over there, there's that new development, the Grove, that's coming in. That's like a mixed-use master plan community that's going to be all new construction. So you get a nice mix of both things over there near 45th Street. Did you mean to skip Millwood?
No, it's an honorable mention, or is it?
No, it's on your list.
I didn't mean to skip
It's
Millwood.
right there.
No, I didn't mean to skip that at all. I think it's one of the best bang for the bucks. Like you have great schools, and this is just like literally just adjacent to the west of the Domain. So I think it's going to be right there between the Apple campus and the Domain. It's got great schools. It's got little homes. It was when Bill Milburn came around, and he was one of the first guys to ever do production homes, which means they kind of built the same thing over and over again to do it quickly. It was one of the first neighborhoods for that. So a lot of the homes look very similar, but over time, most everybody has replaced their siding over there, and we're seeing some pretty cute remodels, and the prices are real attractive,
Cool.
especially for appreciation. So I like that one for investment, and I also like it for elementary school.
Great. Next up on the list was Highland Park West.
Yeah,
That's just south of Northwest Hills. That's kind of the Balcones, Highland Park West. Those are going to feed into the Highland Park Elementary School. Is that right?
that's right.
The Scotties. Go Scotties.
Go Scotties. Are we allowed to say that? Being owls?
Hoot, hoot. I'm an owl at heart. We've got an owl in our backyard named Alex. Come on.
Yeah, I guess is he there?
He's dodging the rain.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
So anyway, tell us about Highland Park West.
So Highland Park West is kind of neat. You get to be close in and have privacy. You get the hills, and you have also, it's the most likely place to find a mid-century modern home. right there. It's really a conglomeration of 5 different areas. It was all built kind of around the 1950s. And with the hills and stuff, you end up getting more privacy.
Crestview's not the mid-century modern
No,
epicenter?
you get a lot of that, but that was really built originally for the GIs. So you don't see Brentwood and Crestview were built for soldiers returning.
Right, that's mid-century.
Right, it is mid-century.
That's 1950s.
People think mid-century modern. I think they think the modern stuff of that era, not the little bungalows.
So you're thinking the more hipster end of the mid-century modern.
Yeah, like the
Not the bungalows. That's a good clarification.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you thought you had a zinger on it.
I didn't think I had a zinger. I just needed to clarify because to me, a mid-century modern is something different.
Well, there's 1950s regular home, right? GI home. Anyway, where were we?
You're telling us about Highland Park West.
You got me all flummoxed.
Sorry.
So yeah, it's a nice mix of getting to have privacy and the hills.
And for those,
It's
again,
cool
for points of
architecture.
reference, if you're not sure what we're talking about, that's over there by Chez Z and Russell's Bakery, the
And just
Crenshaw's Gym and all that. So you can walk to
it's on the
Randall's.
west side of Camp Mabry.
Okay, next up was some of my favorite neighborhoods,
Oh,
grouping them
yay.
together, Allendale, Crestview, and Brentwood.
Yeah,
Mostly because our first home was in Allendale.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be special to me
yeah.
because that's where we started our life together. And then Crestview and Brentwood. Those are, again, central Austin neighborhoods within the loop, but also still really convenient to Mopac and being able to get to the Domain as well as to downtown. So tell us more about why you picked those.
Oh well, they all have proximity to Mopac, so it's pretty easy to get. It's in between downtown Austin and the Domain and the Tech Corridor, so that's really exciting. The big differences in the neighborhood really are the Allendale. What?
I'm just all mushy now about us.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, we could turn this off.
No, it's all right. Go.
So in Allendale, you have a lot of nice trees. You can have bigger lots, and then in Crestview and Brentwood, you have smaller lots. But it's really like Crestview's been fascinating to me. When I started out in the '90s, people would come to me and they'd say, "Hey, Paul, we'd like Hyde Park." And if they couldn't afford Hyde Park, we'd flip them over to Crestview. And at the time, it was kind of a boring neighborhood. But now I go through there, and it is so cool because you got all kinds of remodels and upgrading going on.
It's a real mix of the original homes and newer style homes. And I just want to say hi to our friend Jade Kalbacher. If you guys ever need an
Hey,
agent
Jade.
in Miami, she is your gal. She will totally hook you up and take care of you. So we don't want you Austinites leaving, but if you did leave and you're going to Miami, let us know and we'll connect you with Jade.
We'll hook you up.
Yes, we've also got our friend Michael online. So thank you so many people for tuning in and joining us today. So last but not least, what's your last choice for people that are looking to move to Austin because of the tech growth? What other neighborhood down here
Yeah, I see it.
starts with a W?
Starts with a W, and it's east of 360.
So it's not within the loop. No,
it's
it is.
East,
It's in
east
the loop.
of 360.
So that makes it the lower west east. No, it's the lower southwestern quadrant.
west of the lake. There's the hint for the neighborhood.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tell us about Westlake Devon. I'm blushing.
Yeah. So this section of Westlake's pretty cool because there's a lot of trees, an immense amount of privacy. The schools are nationally renowned. Is that the right word? But
Yeah, people love the Eames ISD. It's
Yeah.
very well regarded.
Yeah.
Very well regarded for lots of different reasons, including they have a pretty good program for students with special needs.
Yeah, and I'm trying to keep you to the east of 360 so that you have good access to Mopac, and you can get on that and zoom up to your Tech Corridor if that's where you're headed. But it's a great area. The prices in there aren't crazy. You can even find, we put a guy into a real nice home that was about 2,000 feet for $850,000 just a few months ago. It was nice and super private. Just feels like you're in the country and you're all alone, but then you're like 5 minutes from downtown, which is really cool.
That is very cool. So we also have some honorable mentions, but we're really out of time today. So
Yeah.
if you want to know about our honorable mention
It's
choices,
nice. Leave it on the table.
you're going to have to reach out to this guy, and you can always call him, email him, text him, send up smoke signals, whatever. He'll communicate with you however you want. And that wraps it up. So Again, please join us on Sunday, April 28th from 1 to 5 for the Compass Spring Home Tour, including
Yeah.
our 3 listings that you'll find at 803 Garner and Zilker, 5435 Moonshadow in Travis Country, or 2412 Lynbrook down in Bowerly Ranch. And also, if you are wanting to get copies of these lists of suggested investment areas or preferred neighborhoods, if you're looking to move into Austin's Tech Quarter, we're happy to share that with you.
Yeah.
And again, if you want the super secret, we're not sharing with you now, honorable mention list, we're happy to get you that too if you want to reach out. So thanks you guys for joining. Stay dry out
Thank
there.
you.
And we'll see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m.
Adios. We'll be 16 next time. I can't believe we're going to be sweet 16.